Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. I'm gonna talk about a few other things as well. Now, a lot of people are expecting crypto to really continue moving upward, partially because of this as well. FTX will begin distributing $16 billion to its creditors starting on Monday. Most of that liquidity will come back into Bitcoin and altcoins. You are not bullish enough. Now, I think they're paying some of this out in cash, and a lot of people are still fighting off inflation. A lot of people are also in debt. So I don't think all of this money is going to end up back in crypto. But we won't have to wait long to find out what happens here. I'm still expecting at least $10 billion of this to come back to crypto. Former Rep. Albert Wynn, VP Harris must recognize that the industry is neglecting a blind spot for her party and her campaign. They're saying that she is not recognizing crypto and she needs to do a reset in relations. But most people are not going to warm up to Harris being pro-crypto. But I think one thing that definitely will get passed short term is SAB 121. Because right now the SEC is picking winners and losers. You've seen how they approved BNY Mellon to custody crypto. I expect that they will fully pass SAB 121 and allow all the banks to custody crypto if they want to. But this could open up a lot of options at the banks. And it could also bring new investors into crypto as well, if the banks are offering crypto services. Let's wait and see what happens. Breaking news, FBI seizes $6 million in crypto from scammers targeting U.S. investors. Now, I want to point something out here. So they're saying, according to the statement, the FBI successfully traced the stolen digital assets through blockchain analysis, identifying multiple wallets associated with the fraud. Tether, the stablecoin issuer, played a key role in assisting authorities by freezing the scammers' wallets, which led to the swift recovery of the stolen funds. Now, the reason why Tether most likely got involved here is because they want to look like they're helping. Whenever somebody's committing crimes, they always point to someone else that's committing crimes to take the heat off of them. But it is nice that the funds were recovered. And what is going on with Bitcoin all of a sudden? Economist Martin Armstrong suggests that Bitcoin could be an intelligence operation. Based on evidence we've gathered, it's clear the Five Eyes intelligence agencies are behind its inception. Take a listen.
That's why a lot of us believe that Bitcoin was orchestrated by the CIA. Because look, it's the perfect thing the government wants. They even did a white paper on it back in, I think, 96 right. It was.
I remember.
Look, if I give you $100 bill, they don't know where I got it from. But I give you 100 in Bitcoin, they know where it came from. And everybody that gave it down the line. Mm-hmm. This is what, I've been dealing with governments for, as you know, almost 50 years. And there are no mirrors in government. We are the problem. They never look at themselves.
So you see how they're all of a sudden tying Bitcoin to the U.S. government. Then there's this, building a Bitcoin prison. We tried to tell you, Bitcoin is no libertarian movement. It was all created to herd us in. And I'm sure that the Bitcoin maxis were not happy that they invited this guy. Take a listen.
And tying this back to the sort of Bitcoin story, it's the same thing with free speech money. From the State Department's eye view, it's all about capacity building. You want to build up a capacity in these countries to do these things. And cryptocurrency is extremely useful to the state to be able to evade state-controlled banking in other countries. And just a few things here, and then we'll, I think, maybe get more to our tete-a-tete. But In 2020, the State Department signed a partnership with Circle, USDC, now the sixth largest cryptocurrency, for Circle to we wanted to overthrow the government of Venezuela. There was a guy named Juan Guaido who only got 7% of the vote in Venezuela, but we declared him the president of the country because we wanted to regime change them and frankly take the oil and resources that Venezuela has. And so the problem is if we wanted to fund a dissident group, if we wanted to fund Maduro's army of CIA-backed mercenaries, we couldn't just deposit it into the Venezuelan state system. We had to launder the money in there the same way we had to launder ideas in during the Cold War. And so
what this guy's actually saying is that the U.S. government is laundering money not only through Bitcoin, but they're also laundering money through Circle in some ways. But we all knew this. We know that Bitcoin is being controlled by the government. And Brad Garlinghouse says there's a problem with Bitcoin. Take a listen. Is it really decentralized?
Is Bitcoin really as decentralized as many people think?
These pools of mining capacity, and mining meaning CPUs. So you think about where would you have concentration? So what has happened is you have 80% of Bitcoin mining occurs in China. You actually have 4 miners who control more than 50% of the compute power of the Bitcoin blockchain. The reason why that's significant is if you have more than 51% of the kind of compute power, you could actually change the blockchain. You could change, people talk about it as well, it's decentralized, it's immutable, you can't be changed, except if you have 51% of the compute power.
So they're telling you that it can be changed. These are the things that the Bitcoin maxis never want you to hear. And Brad even says XRP is a better Bitcoin. Take a listen.
XRP was made to be a better Bitcoin. This is why.
Bitcoin started from the Satoshi white paper. And one of the things about how Bitcoin works is through proof of work. It has mining. You've heard about miners that are using compute power to verify transactions. That's expensive and it causes a scalability problem. The inventors, the original engineers who developed the XRP ledger were early Bitcoin engineers who saw that there was going to be a scalability problem of Bitcoin over time.
Well, it's also finite. There are 21 million Bitcoin, and that's the end of that.
That will be the end. Today, there's fewer than that. There continue to be Bitcoins mined, and so it's growing with the idea that it'll have a maximum of 21 million units. With XRP, the idea was, look, when you're doing this mining, it slows down transactions, it makes transactions expensive. There's a better way to do that, and they developed something called, that I won't technically go into, called the consensus algorithm. But basically the idea is you don't have to have mining to verify a transaction.
So think about it like this. What are all the Bitcoin maxis always saying? That they're going to get adoption. Everybody's going to transact in Bitcoin. But we already know that's never going to happen because XRP is already doing that job. We already know it's capable of being used by 8+ billion people worldwide without any issues. But these are the things that the Bitcoin maxis say all over X on a daily basis. Governments are going to start adopting it. Everybody's going to adopt it. They're going to use it as a world's reserve asset. No, they're not. They're never going to lean in that direction. In fact, once it becomes competition to a CBDC, that's the end of Bitcoin. The governments will just kill it because they have the capability of doing that already. NVIDIA signs collaboration agreement with Irish quantum computing company Equal One. This comes from Blue Hawk Legend. So now we're starting to see more talk about quantum computing. And quantum computing could be a problem for all of blockchain. But most of these networks, even David Schwartz said that the XRP ledger is not quantum proof right now, but it could be made so. And I think that's going to be a problem as we start pushing ahead because quantum computers could just kill Bitcoin. And most likely, we are going to see the rise of quantum computers by 2026 going into 2027. All the groundwork is already being put in place already today. And now that NVIDIA is getting involved and you also see Microsoft getting involved, It's going to happen much quicker than most people think. Remember, that was supposed to be decades away, but it looks like it's only a few short years away now. Grayscale XRP Trust is open to eligible accredited investors seeking exposure to XRP, which powers the XRP ledger, a distributed network used for cross-border payments. Now, Grayscale is pushing the XRP Trust, but yet Grayscale kept XRP off of their list of the best investments. I don't understand that. So you're pushing it on one end, and on the other end, you're saying, well, these are better investments than XRP. Why is XRP being left out? You ever take notice to that? I think it's because they don't want anyone new investing in XRP. We were lucky enough to have the vision enough to invest in this cryptocurrency early on, because soon it is going to take off. And when it does, it's going to leave a lot of people behind. It's also going to shock a lot of other people once it flips Bitcoin again for the #1 spot. It happened in 2018, and it's going to happen again. 30% of global POS transaction value in 2023 was paid by digital wallets, adding up to $10.8 trillion. $10 trillion paid by credit cards, $8.3 trillion paid by debit cards. Cryptocurrency wasn't mentioned. You know, the reason I wanted to mention this is because my bank says next year I will no longer have a debit card. I'm going to be using a digital wallet. And I think this is also in line with SAB 121. If the banks are going to start getting involved with crypto, you're just going to be able to add crypto into your digital wallet that's issued by the bank. I think the banks are already preparing for adoption of crypto is what I'm saying. And that would make sense, because if they are able to get involved with crypto, all of a sudden that massive liquidity problem that we could be facing at some point next year could easily be deterred through the use of something like XRP that offers on-demand liquidity. This also comes from Bluehawk Legend. US CFTC approves first guidelines for trading voluntary carbon credit derivative contracts. Like I said, carbon credits are not going away. You know, back in 2022, when I first talked about carbon credits and how that's going to be a massive industry in the future, a massive market, trillions and trillions of dollars, everybody's going to be buying carbon credits and carbon offsets. People laughed back then and said that's never going to happen. But here we are now in 2024, and carbon credits are talked about more now than ever before. Once they find a way to charge you for your carbon usage, you will be buying carbon offsets and carbon credits. And because we're invested in the right cryptocurrencies early on, you're also going to get rich off of this. You know, if you look at Ripple, they're very big on carbon credits. Stellar's now leaning in that direction. Hedera's been going in this direction from day one. And if you're invested in HBAR or XRP or XLM, you are going to get rich off of carbon credits as well. I'm not a fan of carbon credits, but I sure as hell am going to get rich off of it if I can. BlackRock and JP Morgan are backing a $15 billion investor fund to rebuild Ukraine. Follow the money. Now, Ukraine, in my opinion, it's an elite's playground, and that's why BlackRock is there. They are testing out digital ID, cashless society, CBDC. It's one big testing ground covered by the war with Russia. And because we see BlackRock and JP Morgan there, you know that whatever they're testing out there, they plan on using in other places around the world. I think all the testing being done in Ukraine is eventually going to go live here in the United States. All of a sudden, you're going to hear them talking more about humanitarian aid, universal basic income, cashless society. Wait until they announce Ukraine is now cashless. That's going to be announced. It's just a matter of time. Well, if banks made $1.1 trillion in interest, why don't they give that to us for bailing them out twice? Remember 2008. All of a sudden, the banks are making all this money in interest. But next week, all of a sudden, all these banks will still be in the red. It's one big sham. You know, the banks always put out these massive headlines, how everything's going great at the banks. The banks are safe. Make sure you put your money in the bank. Put it in your savings account and your checking account. Then all of a sudden, another bank collapse happens. Same thing is going to happen again. Because consolidating the banks is part of the Great Reset. Same reason you see chaos in all the major cities in the United States, part of the Great Reset. Open borders will lead to global digital ID. You will become a one world citizen. Everything that they're pushing is leading in that direction. In that last video, I talked about Johnny Deaton being anti-CBDC, and I think he's right on point. But he should definitely push the fact that XRP can fix the current financial system. We don't need CBDC to get rich off of our XRP. If they were to fix the current US dollar, we would still end up getting rich because XRP is the perfect fix to the current financial system. But no matter how all this plays out, we will get rich in the end. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, so we can get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.